going to show you guys how I installed these today. Installed these window vents. So for this install, you're going to need a few tools, which is a jigsaw, a drill, you need tape measure, 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch bit, permanent marker to mark our location, lots of masking tape, drill bits. You don't need a Dremel with a carbide bit, but I have one, so I'm going to use it to clean up the edges. We're going to be installing these vents onto my windshield, but we're not going to put them on the edges like they did. We're going to put them in the center. So I've decided to go in the center, one on the bottom and one up top under my light bar. So what I've done so far to get me to this point was I measured the center line of my windshield. If you're putting them on the edges, obviously it's going to be different, but I wanted it in the middle. It's not blocking my view. Seems like it's going to work pretty well. We just want more air into the razor. As you know, these things get really hot. So I measured the center point. I marked that on the windshield, put a whole bunch of masking tape on it. This is just cut on there, or taped on there so you guys can see it right now. So underneath I have a lot of masking tape. I put 3 layers so that way it doesn't scratch the windshield when we're cutting. I will tape down here, tape all this down so when we're cutting the paper, the template doesn't move. They supply you a template and we're gonna just cut. We're gonna drill our holes and then cut into it. So what I've done so far is just tape on the template. There's 3 layers of masking tape underneath to protect the windshield. Now this is a poly windshield. I would not do this on acrylic, it'll just crack. Poly is stronger than acrylic, but I think it's also softer. Don't quote me on that. This is just kind of show you the location where it's gonna be. So I have one down here low, and then I'm gonna have one up here higher, so it doesn't block my view. So I'll still have, this is from the passenger seat, still have the vision, I can still see down low when we're climbing over stuff. Alright, so I drilled all the holes. I got the 1/8 inch holes. The 1/4 inch holes are just for the jigsaw, so when you have to change directions, it makes it easier to turn as opposed to trying to turn the blade so you can get nice straight cuts. And now we have a big hole in our windshield. Right inside. Now I'm just going to test fitment before I take the tape off, just to make sure. Holes are lining up. It's the opening in the bottom there. Alright, so now what you want to do is open this so it's wide open. Put that in the hole there and make sure nothing interferes. Sorry about the camera placement, doing this by myself. So I can sweep it wide open and shut, nothing hits as it's moving, but nothing's hitting, nice and open. So now we'll take the tape off, clean up the holes, and then we'll get it mounted. So the Dremel step is optional, but you are left with, like, I don't know if you can see this, but kind of rough edges. You could use a file, smooth those out, which I'm gonna grab a hand file and try to smooth it out some. It's not necessary, it'll all be hidden, but I do wish it was a little bit smoother. So then clean the edge with some alcohol, and then you just peel this peel the backing off of the foam tape. I started in the center and then I worked my way around to make sure that it was nice and straight. And this is what's going to seal out the rain and dust. So I put one screw in the center. I didn't go all the way in, I just started it there. Since I don't have any help, I'm going to have to reach around on the back side and hold that piece up while I screw it in. Now that I got all these in, looks like there's 7 of them. There's 2 underneath. I don't know if you can see this. Sorry if you can't, but there's 2 holes that we've drilled that just screw into the inside vent part. Alright, as you can see, I got, I don't know if you can see those, the 2 little screws in the bottom end and the ones on top. Now I did make a mistake. I should have taped off more of the windshield. I did scratch the windshield with my jigsaw. That's from the metal plate. Another trick is to tape off the bottom of your jigsaw, and I totally forgot about it in a rush to make the video. Didn't think about doing that. I will do it for the next vent, which is going up under the light bar. Obviously I got to uninstall the light bar. Mine is a little different than what yours is going to be because I made my own brackets for my light bar. I made my own roof, but I did this so I could stand off, so I had enough room for the vent to get in there. Now this is what it looks like from inside the cab. So my vision, it's supposed to go there, but I didn't like that because I like to be able to see down. So now I can see down, I can see over. I don't have to move my head as much. This is how you open it. There's like a little handle right here. Open it up, just open straight out to the outside. I might come up with like a foam filter for this, for like dusty conditions, so we're not getting blasted with sand or dust. But I might just make something on the outside that's foam that'll still let air in, but if it's dusty I can just toss that in there and still get some air. But it's pretty sweet. It's nice and solid. It feels very solid. The next one's going to go up here. You can kind of see I just have it taped in place to kind of look at it. Still got to clean the windshield up there under the light bar after I take the light bar off. But so far it's pretty sweet. I'll get a video of it running, or us driving it, and how much air this gets. But I do feel like I'm still going to get plenty of air, even though it's in the center, not directly in front of me. I just didn't like it when I taped it here in front of me. I don't know, I just didn't like right in my vision. I'm 6 foot tall, obviously I look up here when I'm driving, but if I'm climbing, which I do like the rock climb, I look down like this to look for, you know, whatever objects, and then I look out the window. Well, here they are installed. I have one up high behind my light bar in the middle and one down low. I definitely can feel it when I'm driving. I didn't clean up. They open up easy, I can feel air coming in. A lot better than it was. It's not directly on my face, but that's fine. It does circulate the air. When I'm driving, I can feel them. I can feel this one also. It might not be as much because it's up high, but I'm assuming I have a 4-seater, so the kids will feel it. They'll be able to feel some air flowing in here. But I definitely can feel it. Definitely a big difference. Let's see if it makes wind noise when I go fast. So this is a walk around of them installed. I have them wide open right now. You can see the air comes off the hood, blasts right in there. Air comes up here, gets captured by the vent, blast inside. Doesn't impair my vision at all. I also made these. Just prop the doors open. You can buy them online, but they're super easy to make. There's the RZR all dirty. You won't see this on any RZRs because I had to make this myself too. Twin pipe Yoshimura's. Quiet cores installed. Made fender flares. Doesn't work that well, obviously, because there's a lot of mud on here, but we don't get it inside the cab, and these don't get caked as much. Obviously, this isn't clean, but having the 32s and the MSA wheels, and they stick out pretty far, having the mud flaps help. I actually made mine go all the way inside, covered up all that. Two things, a little bit of added protection, I think, from keeping things from flying in, and a little bit easier to clean up. I do have a tuner on this, so you heard the fan on. I have the tuner right here. I like to monitor stuff, so there's things to gauge. See the vents. Alright guys, hope this answers a couple questions. One, should you install these? Yes. Definitely lets in a lot more air. Two, is it easy? Yes. If you take your time, if you have the right tools, you can do it. Make sure you don't have plastic or acrylic because it'll crack. This is polycarbonate. You want polycarbonate. Does it crack? But you see, I put the one up here under the light, but it does get air. There's plenty of airflow inside. So they're wide open. Bottom one. You know, we didn't put them in this on the corners because I don't like the way it impaired my vision a little bit, so put them in the middle. We do have a 4-seater, as you can see in there, maybe. So it lets the wind back there also for the kids, but I didn't want them in front of me, so we put them in the middle. Hope this helps somebody.